So welcome everyone to Home Center Sunday service. We're so glad you can join us today. If you'll notice in the environment around me, we're in a different place. We're actually in the forest behind the Home Center buildings, and it's the backside of the property. And we're just so glad that you can share this with us. We want to bring the forest to you on this 4th of July holiday, because we're in the trees where it's so sacred. Everybody that comes back into this canopy of trees feels the change and feels the shift, and it leaves feeling as a different person because of the way these trees and the Mother Nature embraces you. It truly feels like you're being embraced by the Mother when you're back here. So that's why we're asking anybody who would like to help us think about, put energy, prayers, whatever support you have into us being able to acquire this kind of a forest on the property next door to us before they take the trees down for development. So we would love to be able to acquire that forest back there and extend the beauty and the nature of what we have here into a little bit more. We want to save those trees. We want to preserve the trees and preserve this forest. So anyway, want to welcome you into this gorgeous forest today. And Jay and I are going to be doing this message for you today. Every year on this day of Sunday nearest the 4th, we have a barbecue and a potluck and lots of people and quite a fun celebration of community, and we're really missing that this year. So this is as close as we can get to bringing it to you, minus the smell of the barbecue and the community in the physical form. So next year, mark your calendars. Next year we're going to have quite a shindig, I'm quite sure, because we've missed it so much this year. I also want to share with you that we have a special guest appearance today. We have Mr. Abe Lincoln, and he's came here to join us. And here we have Mr. Abe Lincoln to join us for our 4th of July celebration. This is Reverend Joe Peinkofer. He's our minister of prayer, and we had him come today with us to join us because he looks so much like Abe Lincoln. We just are tickled to have him here in the forest with us. So say hello to everybody, Abe. Thank you, Joe. So thank you, Abe, for being here with us today. We really appreciate that, for coming here. So we're going to start off this service with Dick coming up and sharing with us the opening prayer.
Good morning, everyone. I have the opening prayer from the Home Center's ministerial team. Abraham and Joe, Reverend Joe, are our minister of prayer, and this is what we have for you. Our opening prayer. God, at times I feel I am all alone, yet I know your presence is everything. My good health, for that indeed I am thankful, for I am able to carry on as a light worker from day to day. I work at keeping my thoughts clear, my every action kind and giving. I offer my love and light to others in their time of need. Smooth the path I travel for anything that could slow my progress, and help me to recognize and accept all that is good in my life. When I feel low or in despair, fill my heart with your light, and I'll know you are with me. Teach me to love myself so that I may share that love with others in their time of need. My independence is in you, God, and my freedom as well. In God and Christ, love and light. Amen.
Thank you, Dick, and thank you, Joe, for that lovely prayer. So my message today is about independence. I read an article that was titled Deleting His Story, History, and Rewriting Our Story. The subtitle of this article is Alchemizing Our Fragmented Past into a Unified Future. And I really felt inspired by just those words alone, and to sit with those words of alchemizing our fragmented past into a unified future. To me, this concept, or the play on words, really speaks of being independent from our past or his story, and coming into a unified relationship with every human being that is on our planet. And sometimes people get all hung up on his, hers, theirs, especially in relationship to God, but even still, sometimes the gender thing really plays a big role. But in this case, his story is the correct gender personification of history, because our past and our history was written by the male gender. And there were long periods of time when women weren't allowed to even be literate. And sadly, still there are places in the world today that don't allow the women to be educated in that way. So the history is still being written largely by the male gender. So we need to get away from that separation of of the story that we tell about who and what we have been, and coming into our story. So for the world as we know it is evolving, it's changing, and it has the appearance of being really bad. In some cases, it is bad. There are some cases where really bad things are happening. The collective rage and the suppressed feelings are exploding into acts of destruction and violence. And it's not okay to express it in that way. But it's that collective underbelly of rage and suppression, and probably generational abuse that is coming through in these acts of destruction that are happening. And I pray now that enough pressure has been released that we can start rewriting the story that we tell and the story that we live by, and in creating it into our story. The story that we must write now is the story of true freedom for every man, woman, and child. Our new story must be our story of oneness. We must understand that when we hurt another, we are truly hurting ourselves. And when we understand that we are hurting our planet and we're cutting down the Amazon forest, that we're truly cutting into our own lungs, because we are one, not only with another human being, but we're one with these trees, we're one with this planet, we're one with the dirt, we're one with the sky. We're truly made of the earth and stardust. Together is what we're made of. When we're being brutal to an animal, we're being brutal to our own soul. And our planet and everything on our planet is a part of us. Our physical form is made from the great mother that we call planet Earth, or Mother Earth. There's a reason why we call her Mother Earth. The iron in my blood is from the food that I eat, and it's in the food that I eat, it's in the plant material that I eat, or in the meat in the meat that I eat, because that fed from the earth. So we're really all one. We're getting our same sources from the same places, and that's from the earth. We're not separate from it. So whatever we do to each other, we do to the earth, we do to the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, is what we're doing to us. So we always need to be in a place of honor. And the person standing next to me in the store is truly my brother and sister. We are all part of the human family. I hope you can hear that crow over there in the tree. It's adding to our message today. I don't have to like or approve what other people do, but the person doing the deed is still my brother and my sister. And it's what America was founded on, is that spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood. In this understanding of oneness, we can experience true freedom. My dad always said that true freedom is to do what's right, what's just, and what's centered in love. For all else, there are consequences or repercussions. And if you understand the law of attraction, even to the slightest degree, you can grasp the concept of that was just said, that only freedom comes by doing what's right. It's time we wrote our story, a new collective story, a story based on no separation, no color, no class, no them and us, just oneness. Our story needs to speak of the way we want to see the world, and we must live from that place of love and light. In this article that I read, they said that the statues that are being taken down because they were based on slavery and, holding the people up that were slave owners, that they were suggesting that those statues be melted down rather than just disposed of. They're suggesting they be melted down and made into coins, and then sell the coins for a lot of money, make them a collector's item and sell them, and then the money that comes from those statues would go to help the people that were affected by the deeds of those men. And I thought that's a beautiful idea, because we have generational pain through these families, and if that money could go to help them resolve the pain, come into a place of wholeness, it would be a beautiful way of restitution for those deeds. So I just thought that is one of the deeds that really would provide freedom. So that was a creative way of thinking, a way of alchemizing what has been into a new story, into our story. America is a great nation, and there are reasons why so many all over the world will take risks and even risk their life to get here. Our new story must be about creating new freedom and independence, not just for the United States, but for the entire world. And in closing, I want to share a poem that was written by Diane Ackerman. And this poem was shared with me through an e-card from a friend of ours, Kathy DeMeyer. So thank you, Kathy, for sharing this poem. The poem goes like this. I swear I will not dishonor my soul with hatred, but offer myself humbly as a guardian of nature, as a healer of misery, as a messenger of wonder, as an architect of peace. Happy Independence Day to you all. And I'm going to invite Jay up here to deliver his message. I teased Jay about it, the fact that he's not wearing his usual 4th of July tie that he normally wears. And he says, well, I'm out in the woods, I'm in the forest, so I dress more casually. So I welcome our woodsman, Jay Smith.
As usual, I usually have a big sheet of paper up here, and then I tell you I'm going to toss it away. We're here the day after Independence Day, and as Madge was talking, I was thinking about time back in Buffalo. They had a whole orchestra come and they played the music Age of Aquarius, and the theater exploded with such joy, such thrill. I kept saying to myself, I can't wait till Aquarius shows up. Well, I don't know where we went astray, because in that whole performance, nobody destroyed anything. And they're destroying things. Why? There's something to build on. Remind us, if we don't tend to our knitting and doing our right work for the right reasons, we could just be like yesterday. That's why we like to say goodbye to a lot of this stuff. And I'm looking forward to cutting down on the anger. We have all these gyms, all this activity out here that we can get our anger outside and realize when we play the God game, the right action, what goes around comes around. So if you do destructive out there, destructive comes home to you. If you do empowerment, the empowerment comes back to you. It isn't a bullhorn that gives me power. Me, myself, and I, God, His angels, and my soul gives us power to become what we call humanity. Maybe we can put aside the suggestions of war. Maybe we can get away from tribal things where we have to have state boundaries, where we're all one people. There was a movie out not so long ago, Independence Day, where they had to have aliens from outer space come in and kind of blow up the earth. And that was the only way we could unite everyone. I hope that doesn't have to happen. I'd rather we go back and get that song out, The Age of Aquarius, and we all get out here in this woods and do a little dance and a little hugging and thinking, how can we make it better? How can we improve on it? And those things that don't fit into humanity, they will just grow up into weeds, maybe be tokens for the birds to fly and land on, whatever. Things should not demonstrate their control over us. We're the master of our fate. And whatever we do, we're going to live for eternity with it. Don't we need to do some house cleaning today? The 4th of July was yesterday. Now it's a new day. It's the 5th. Can we now start playing the game of Aquarius? Can we now start realizing we need each other? I can't even buy a shirt made in America anymore. They're made someplace in Ethiopia, around the world. Our food comes from around the world. Today I looked up the bag of grapes and I was thinking, oh, I know they came from California. No, they came from Mexico. And I went to pick up something else and I looked at it, it's made in Chile. And I'm thinking, if they weren't doing this, I would have an empty refrigerator. Can we not only enjoy the benefits of what they give us, but can we not have humanities to give it back and bless them, seeing them as individuals? We don't need a bullhorn to tell us we need humanity. We don't need a bullhorn to tell us who we are. How we are tells you. How we greet you tells you. And I'm thinking about one, I listened to a woman screaming on the bullhorn, and the day I resigned from the state of New York Department of Labor, one of my back employees kissed me, and I kissed her back, and she looked at me and she says, "You're real?" I said, "Yes, you're real too." I appreciated all the work that you performed in my unit to make it successful. Why don't I honor you? Because you made it possible for me to get promotions and to last at this job until I retire. We need each other. And this is a time to really look at the founding fathers. We the people. We make the policies and procedures to help us to integrate, to become a complement to each other, to meld together the best of all cultures so that we have the best of all things. When we prevent this from happening, the only person that gets short-sheeted is me and you, because they have gifts to give us. And this discrimination causes that gift to be moved away. I'm hoping that we can now start going into the groove of Christmas is coming. Go and get Christmas shopping. I saw some Christmas lights being put up, and I saw some wreaths put up. And I looked at my watch and I said, "What year is this?" And it says it's still July. And I thought, why not start now? Even Halloween, if you got any ghosts that you need to get rid of, they had all the Halloween toys out. And I thought, what? If we could get this all packaged together in the next 6 months, what a joyous new year. And that's what I'd like to be singing to you all. peace on earth, goodwill to all humankind. Because in the next 6 months, we're going to walk our talk, we're going to live our lives, and we're going to honor all. Are you with me? Are we in the game? Are we going to be enjoying the Merry Christmas in the universe? And this, I've about said enough. And I welcome you to this magnificent woods to listen to the traffic of humans making noises out there. I'm going somewhere, and wherever you're going, may you do it with joy and love and humanity. Have a fantastic life, my dear friends. Let us do a meditation together, but first we're going to kind of show you where we're meditating in our back forest. Take a look. Get into the feel of being one with Mother Nature. Feel her strength, her cleansing power, her healing power, the growth that she maintains regardless of the environment. So this is your time. Let us slowly now close our eyes and see ourselves one with this magnificent sacred space. And we're releasing from our mind, our body, our aura, all the entangling, all the depressing, all the injurious activities that's taken place in my life, all that energy, so I can be free to be the person I came here this lifetime to enjoy. And feeling Mother Nature's energy coming into me. I'm not alone. Wherever I am, Mother Nature's there caressing me, protecting me. Feel the presence. Feel the oneness as it just keeps flowing through you like a waterfall, washing away all your tears, your anger, your frustration, and filling your cup. Your cup runneth over. Every time you open your mind to this force, this meditation, you're bathing in Mother Nature's healing graces. Feel the presence. Feel the healing. Take ownership because you've earned the right by receiving. Feel it. Own it. From this day forward, wherever I am, I feel this presence with me. I am healed. I am whole. I'm one with the Almighty. And so it is. Amen.